Okay. Let's give that another go. So most of our controls work. The right... Ooh. Correction, the down arrow is having some problems now. At least we have sound, though. Seems that this is probably going to be a nightly thing. Where, our basilisk just implodes a few times in a row. My best guess is that this is some kind of graphical problem, because whenever I have tried to wrangle this, it seems worse when I mess with the graphics settings. And then it seems better, and then it seems worse again. There doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason to it. So we can move the camera up, left, down, right still just makes it explode. Ah! Poor basilisk, really putting it through its paces. We're gonna try with a slightly different bit of a setting and see what happens. I'm not confident this will change anything, but we'll see. Yeah, no change. We may just have to play without recentering at all, ever. Which, if I may say so, would kinda suck. But we'll see. We'll see what we can do. Might not be anything that we can do, but we'll try. Yeah, that's really the story of it, isn't it? I mean, I'm certainly not seeing anything that should cause any issues, but I mean, that means very little in the world of grievously unstable old software. I do truly wonder why the right arrow specifically breaks this so badly. Like, what is it about that, as opposed to anything else that could go wrong? Just couldn't have any other problem, could we? The only thing that I can think of is that it's doing some kind of illegal read. Yeah, so I'm looking at the error log here, and it actually shows that it had a seg fault, which unfortunately there's not much that we can do about that. We will, of course, try. Ooh boy. So this is what we're seeing now. Oh boy. Well, and it's dead. Okay then. It's not even just that it's a white screen of death, it's that it's so slow. Just like slowly just drags down the screen. Left, down. Whoa! Oh, fun. That's a new one. Something similar happened when there was a hurricane the last time that we played. Although only briefly. The hurricane didn't happen again when we reloaded. Is that... No Eric log that time, actually. Huh. I think I know what's happening, actually. I might be completely wrong, but I think it is a problem with the RAM that it's using. I may not actually be able to make this work, but we'll see. I've actually lowered the RAM allocation. No, that's done nothing. Ah! Okay, if this continues to fail for, let's say, another 15 minutes, so it's 7:30. If we continue to have these troubles... no, there really isn't. Yeah, there's not a lot that we can do. We can sort of, kind of play the DOS version. I mean, I don't have it set up, so it would... Oh no. Oh no, it's not even the right arrow key. It's actually just trying to scroll the screen to the right that does it. I mean, I guess that's good information, but wow. So I'm gonna... What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna keep messing around with certain values, in particular the RAM allocation. Right now I'm going to run it with 16 megabytes instead of the 36 that I've been using up to this point. It's trying to read an invalid RAM address, and while that is an issue that I understand, it's not an issue that I can do literally anything about. Because it just is to do with the way that this super old program works. So yeah, to answer your question more fully, we can play this using the DOS version, but one, the music sucks, and two, the actual game is not set up on my end, so I would need to get that separately. I don't own a license to it. I could probably make it work using DOSBox and the CD that I've got, but that's pretty iffy. So right now what I'm doing is setting it to ignore illegal memory accesses. In other words, it's going to just try and cope with it instead of segfaulting. You know what let's do is actually just open up a different city, see if it's a problem with this map. Oh, thank you for that with the explosions. Oh. Okay, so same problem. Oh no. Oh boy, okay. Well. It's Charleston this time. Yeah, let's... I'm sorry it's so loud. Oh my gosh. This is ridiculous. Okay, that's quite enough, Basilisk. That is quite enough of that noise. Please stop. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna turn illegal RAM access violation catching a little bit back on a little bit here, because I cannot deal with that sound. Okay, so I think Twitchton might be a little bit screwed for now. That's a problem. That's very unfortunate. So you know what we're going to do is we're going to play Spectre Challenger. Where's my disk mounter? Disk copy. Make me an alias of this. We're gonna have some fun with an old operating system for a minute. Okay. Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play macOS 7. Let's put that there. Play Spectre Challenger, yeah! From 1990. Now this is a demo version of the game Spectre, which was like a first-person tank game. It's actually quite weird. Oh yes, here's the upgrade offer if you wanna call in at the Velocity customer service line and get a registered copy of Spectre VR. Oh, that's interesting. This is a redistributed version from 1994. So yeah, this actually might be the same version that I used to have. No, I am sure that that's not a live phone number anymore. Hold on a second. I'm going to actually be right back. I'm going to set up the controls for this because I haven't actually tested this. What I'm going to do is set up the controls, pour myself some tea, and then we're going to play with a stupid old tank game. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. I've checked this out. It does seem to work properly. I think we're fine. Now this game is ridiculous. It's it's rather silly. It's a tank game. You shoot stuff. I mean that's pretty much it. There's not that much to it. You have to collect flags in order to move on to the next level. I'm very curious about what hyperspace does. So we'll find that out in a minute. So we're going to play with filled instead of vector mode because I prefer that look. And we're going to play with balance to start with. We can actually... I do love these little animations. They're just lovely. And if you're wondering if it's too small to read, that says "ha" in the thought bubble there. Speedy is fast and wimpy. Strong is just a tank. Balance is pretty much the generic all-rounder, and then custom is if you want some kind of extreme stats or a different balance, then you can do that. And it has the best sound effects. This game. There's a robot right there. Oop, there's another one behind me. And you can see the dots on the upper right corner. That is the enemy tanks. And it looks like somebody's up behind me. This game has the best noises. I'm actually seriously tempted to just straight up die so that I can show them off. Yeah, there isn't really any music or anything, which is, I suppose, kind of disappointing. And they also took the tank controls thing pretty literally here. Oh. Apparently shift is shoot. Whoops. And there are, of course, a fixed number of power-ups on at any given time. And that's level 1. So no time bonus, of course. Now this is actually a demo, so it's only 7 levels long. And I would not at all hesitate to say that having access to the minimap is extremely overpowering. Ooh. Now, I haven't played this at all in probably 4 years now, and that was only to test and make sure that it worked when I downloaded it onto my old MacBook. However, I haven't actually seriously played this in probably 24, 23 years, maybe. We had it as a built-in title on our Performa, and that was pretty much the last time that it was seen in the wild. Oh no, there's a triangle. Yeah, there's a new tank type on this level. Ooh. Now, I prefer playing this like a stealth game, you know, kind of like Assassinations. But as a rule, I've found that that's not actually a very good strategy. And last flag. Okay. That's pretty respectable time bonus. Level 4. It's a new color scheme because it's level 4 now. Oh no, it's laggy. It astonishes me that a game of this age can lag. Oof. I was trying, guys. We're not kidding around. Oh, the ammo pickups actually reduce your damage. That's useful. Didn't realize. Flag. There's one over here that nobody's guarding, so I better grab that before I go back. And somebody is following me, actually. Oof. Shouldn't let him line that shot up on me. I do like the one shot, one kill sort of approach to this. It's hard to execute because stuff moves around, but it's satisfying. It's very gratifying to get it right. Also, I believe I mentioned before, but I can't really get this game to display any larger short of rebooting the virtual machine and actually changing the resolution. Oh my gosh! Okay, I'm dead. Nice flag placement, though. Oh crap. Whew. Oh no. Those triangle guys. Brutal. Now this is not the full game. I do have the full game, but I haven't played it, and I haven't tested it, so I don't know if it's going to work. Either way, I thought that as sort of a proof of concept for this stream, it made sense to do just a couple rounds of regular Spectre Challenger, regular old demo, and then go back around to, like, circle back around to Spectre VR, or just Spectre, or I don't even remember what the name of the other one was, but there's another version of it, and I have that too. So yeah, there's some options. We have some options. I probably won't play too much of this tonight, since I have some other games on this VM that will probably not crash quite so hard as poor SimCity. I'd really rather be working on Twitchton, but oh crap! Oh no! Oh, he got me. Oh, he got me. I killed him, but he killed me. Oof. Got 2 lives. And another level after this one. I'm pretty sure we can manage it with 2 lives. But we'll see. Now I don't... This may be obvious, but I don't play many tank games. I don't play many first-person shooters. And I generally don't play that many games that are real-time. Oh, crap! Oh, he's right behind me. Oh, wow. That's rough. Okay, there's somebody approaching from the right. Oh, no! Gotta be very free with the ammo on this stage, I think. Oh, no! Crap. Oh, my last level as well. I'm gonna try strong because I don't need very much speed, and the ammo that I was carrying was way more than I needed. So let's find out how he handles on the basic maps. And I've also set it to vector mode, which is like the way that this game I think is supposed to be played. I prefer filled polygons, but this is cool too. Oh my gosh! What happened? How did they get me so many times so fast? Oh my gosh, stop! Oof. Okay, so I'm not super great at this playstyle, apparently. I thought it said heavy didn't have very much ammo. I've got plenty. Yeah, there I win. And that's the you're out of ammo noise. That click click. Now I hope it's visible. If this game is just not viable unless I increase the size, that's okay. Because I can bring the emulated screen resolution down and make it display a little bit better. I'm not sure, that might have other consequences. Oh gosh, guy is behind me and I don't want him to be behind me anymore, so I will kill him. He is dead. Not behind me anymore. There is a guy to my left. Individual map pixels, and there is no strafing. There is nothing like that. One thing that I'm not entirely solid on is what that H meter means. What if it's like speed or target health or something to that effect? Oh gosh, here's the first triangle guy. They did such a good job with this game's sound design. It's really beautiful. Very simple, but it does exactly what it needs to. Got these nice little rewarding sounds whenever you grab the power-up. You've got the weirdly comical sounds at strange moments. I wonder if backing up into flags is kind of the way to go. I'm not entirely certain I am actually playing as a heavy, because I don't seem to have any more health, and I don't have any less ammo. I'm not sure about the speed. It's hard to gauge. One of these has to hit. Yeah, I have no idea what that H thing is supposed to mean. Huh, that's peculiar. Oh. Wow. Oh, I missed. Oh. So that flag guardian is gone. Let's go nab this and then take that guy out. We're going to take a left. Have a sneeze. Excuse me. Ugh. I mean, if it's just reds, it's pretty much like there is no challenge. I think I broke the emulator with whatever I just did. Crap. Oh, that's what I did. It's in full screen. Oof, I apologize for that repetitive noise. Really should not be doing that. Oh, goodness. Sorry about that. Don't quite know what just happened. Let's pause it and see if I can... That's probably going to cause issues with the stream, isn't it? Alright, let's give it a minute to catch up. It may not be coming through quite right. So I'm going to make sure that we're in good shape before I continue. Did absolutely screw my browser up, though. Oof. Well, while that decides whether it's going to cooperate or not, I'm just going to be horrible right along with it and blow my nose. Loudly. Pardon me. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Ah, okay. Oh, no. Already. Oh, no. Whew! Well, that was terrifying. Let's go for this ammo drop and then take a left for the flag. And then pass through the ammo drops on the way to the other ones. So if we go this way, then there should be a flag, then a guarded flag, and some ammo drops that we can grab before we go after the next guy. It's a shame there's no way to strafe. Man, I remember once upon a time played hours and hours and hours of this trying to strategize based on like how many guys were where, because my aim just actually sucked that badly. Like, I think I've maintained this like visceral fear of those triangle guys because I completely forgot they existed, but as soon as I saw them I was still scared. I was like, oh crap, it's them! They're going to come and get me! Which is objectively a ridiculous thing to say about a triangle? A yellowish triangle? But yet here we are. I mean, that's... I genuinely do just have that visceral, sudden reaction to seeing it. That, like, wah! It's there! Oh no! Speaking of which... Nope, it's deployed another one. Oof. Oh no! Oh my gosh, there's two more! They shoot so fast! I wonder if that H mark is like some kind of shield. No. 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 No! No! Stop! Where have I landed? Okay. Oh no. Oh no, I'm gonna die. Oh no. Okay, at least this time I'm facing where they're coming from. Holy crap. Last life, level 6. Alright. I mean, I can handle that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm not actually in a heavy tank. I think I'm just in a standard balance. Which, like, that's okay. They're still good, but I did sort of want to not... Oh no, the terrain! Ooh! Okay, and those are 20 shots each. No, stop with the... Stop. Jeez. Okay, now we can flag grab. 1, 2, and 3. Gracious me. Oh, gosh, there's 2 more. Oh, I got stuck. Oh, I got stuck on the wall. Crap. Alright. Well, I think that's enough of Spectre for the moment, or at least Spectre Challenger. Let's take a look and see what other modes we have available. Let's unmount Spectre Challenger. Yeah, eject, please. Okay, I don't think it knows how to eject. That's fine. Can I unmount? No? Alright. Spectre. Okay, so this is the original full version. Oh. This is the original full version, which may not work. And which may completely not work. Okay, that's broken the emulator again. Alright. So, Spectre Challenger works, Spectre not so much. Alright, good to know. Okay, alright, Basilisk, thank you. Can you... Just thank you. Let's close Basilisk so we can reopen Basilisk so we can hopefully run the application again. Oh hey, it actually remembered. That's good. Yeah, not Spectre. What about extra stuff? No, that's just images. Extras, duplicates, Spectre 1.0. So it actually comes with a beta of the original Spectre. Which, actually, let's read the...
This beta version of Spectre has differences from the final version, including incompatibility with the 68000 processor, no field option, different title and help screens. It is kept here for posterity's sake. Thank you, Fred.
Very, very informational. Oops. That doesn't work. Bundle. What is the bundle?
This version of Spectre came from Activision's Macintosh Bestsellers package. The content of its manual is exactly the same as the original and so is not duplicated here. The game itself also is the same, but for its unique serial number, KAM4MHR.
KAM4MHR. Okay, that's cool, Fred. Thank you. Good to know. Thanks for letting me know about that, Fred. Let's play Spectre Supreme, which I believe we need to mount everything. Let's try mounting all 3 of these and see what we find. Oh, it has an installer. Ooh. So, oh yeah, this has NetPlay, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, well. What's in the extra? Truly Supreme. I have no idea what this is or what it does, other than that it probably relates to Spectre Supreme. Okay, well, let's run Truly Supreme. I couldn't find... Okay, so it needs Spectre Supreme installed. So let's go ahead and install Spectre Supreme. Okay, doesn't seem to need both. Thank you for telling me about not being able to find that. It's very cool. Spectre Supreme! Let's try this out. Oh, serial number. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let's cancel that. Do you have serial number? Okay. Copy. Let's have that live over there for now. Spectre Supreme Pizza. Cog the cat. Okay. It doesn't work. It still doesn't work. Aw. Okay, well. It was worth a shot. Movies. QuickTime. I guess I don't have QuickTime installed. I should probably find that. Okay, so Spectre Supreme doesn't want to work. Sorry, Spectre Supreme. Can we open Truly Supreme? No. Same issue. It's a shame that these old error messages were so cryptic. Nope, can't eject these. We can eject them that way though. I'm surprised that works. VR CD. Oh, it uses toast. Okay. Fortunately, it also has a floppy disk version. Ooh. Spectre VR installer. It might take itself a little seriously. Okay, the installer crashes. Okay, alright. Fine. Does the installer 2 application work? Place the whole thing. Okay, so it might actually have completely installed. We can get rid of that because we know it doesn't work. Spectre VR, Spectre VR. Do you work? You really do not work. You crashed the emulator. Okay. I also tried using the SimCity resource editor, and that didn't go so good either the last time that I tried it. So we're probably not going to be able to make either of those work for now. I will probably at some point be trying again using Sheep Shaver. But at least as of right now, that's not going to be an option. We're going to just have to live with it. We'll empty the trash. 8.2 whole megabytes. Ooh, spooky. What do we got here? What do we want to mess with? You know what let's do is give Twitchton one more try. We've had it sitting for about an hour. Those controls work. Those controls work. That and that work. That works. Hey guys! We can move the camera right again! Oh boy! You know what that means? That means we can actually play. It does also mean that I need to update my stream metadata real quick. Alright, perfect. So now that that's up and running again, now that we're back in good shape, finally, maybe, hopefully. Going to sip on my tea because it's time for tea and chilling out. And putting up dumb signposts. Specifically, we're going to name this... This whole region is Little Detroit. Because, yeah. So let's see. Back to our regularly scheduled recap. What happened last night is we turned into Detroit. Twitchton went through truly its darkest hour. We were overwhelmed with crime and pollution. And just every RoboCop stereotype came true all at once on us. So what we're going to want to do, now that we've dug ourselves out of the hole, it's the year 2000. The Lightning Ridge power plant has breathed its last. It is at 49 years out of its 50-year lifespan. And in 2 months, it will explode. However, we have gone to all the trouble to completely replace and even exceed its power generation output. We have 5 more hydro generators than would be necessary to completely replace this power plant. Now, the hydropower that we're using is only a little bit over our city's current requirements. We could probably get rid of maybe 3 of them, and at that point we would actually run completely out of power. We would start having problems with rolling brownouts again. So, what we're going to do is stick with what we've got for now. When the city starts needing more power, then we will go ahead and construct more hydroelectric plants, since they are a lot easier to purchase piecemeal. We may also want to invest in a wind farm, not because that's particularly good, but just for the variety. And for right now, let's see, we've got $600, and we'll be up to about, how much actually? Yeah, about $1,200 next year. And we're pretty well poised to start expanding this direction. Over here, which I think we were saving for civic services like a hospital. And we can start getting into this region as well. We'll probably want to level this out, since that's not too egregiously expensive. And then this is going to be probably our next big boom area, this and this hill here. Those are where we're going to be hitting the hardest, since they're the broadest open plains. Yeah, that'll keep us going for quite a while, actually, that plain, that rolling plain over there. One decision that I've always found very strange with SimCity 2000's design is this choice to make all of the ground tan. Now, I have to say it works really, really well. It distinguishes very easily between city and countryside. you can see the grid really well, but at the same time, the forested areas especially just look really weird because there's no greenery. I believe you can change that using Skirk resources, but honestly I'm too afraid of the game crashing to test it out. So for now, I think we're going to leave it how it is. We can get the Herald now, since we just recently sized up again. Bald Smog. A 2-car tangle. A dust storm 2 miles out of Twitchton on Highway 8. I can only assume that that's this direction, because that's the only way that it could be within 2 miles. Jones Lane Parade. Jones Lane, Main, Fairview, and Wright Avenues. We should name something. Daycare Boom. Vendors Big Day. Yeah, what are we thinking of? Main, Fairview, Wright, Jones. Need more signposts. Oops, we do want roads. That's literally the most important thing. We'll call this road here Main Street, because that's gonna realistically become our main street. Main Street, call this Fairview Street. What even, are we gonna get the same newspaper again, or, oh we are. Jones and Wright. Gnomes. Jones Lane and Wright Avenue. Yay for naming things. Oh, okay, music. Is that all we get? Are you just are we just okay? There's the rest of the music. Okay, that was very weird. Looks like that road's gonna have to be a little janky at best. Wow, it does not like to go where I want it to go. Let's turn this around and see if we can find a better way to do this. We probably want to run this road. Yeah, so we can do that. Oh, nope. Alright, let's try that a different way. There we go. So we've got this little death trap of a road here. That's fantastic. I love it. It's great. I could never ever go wrong. Let's see, we were looking at what, another hospital up here, I think? To do that, we're going to want to level out this tile, which is going to cost us a good bundle. And then we'll also want to put another school up here as well. So we'll put a school here, and then the hospital here. Actually, you know what, let's back off at least one of them to over here so that we can make room for a couple more zoning tiles. And in fact, let's just skip ahead to the end of the year because we don't have any money. Boo, tax guy. Oh no, it's the tax guy. Okay. Oh no, what was that? Plant nearing death. Oh yeah, they're trying to warn us that the city is doomed. Right. Probably just about optimal. And hospital here, and power here, and water. It's already watered. Okay, cool. Now, budget. We need to adjust the budget to account for the massive influx of service buildings compared to what we had before. We've doubled it. Alright, so we dropped both of those at 40% funding. Year to date. Can we see last year? No. That's alright. I think that has saved us some money, because we're making significantly more next year. And on top of that, we can use our last $63 for a tiny little bit of industrial over here. Yes, industrial right next to the hospital and the school. We are a very responsible city. So let's see. In the meantime, let's make some plans. So we probably want to develop this area up here a little bit. There's not a ton that we can do to it just because of the way that the contours are. But we can. I may want to run a road up here, possibly just cover it in city parks. This area at least we'll want to just put a bunch of small parks down. This tile will need a park. These two tiles can be zoned residential. Same with these 6, or these 5 rather. And then there's 3 tiles that aren't going to have anything on them. Looks like we've got a theater square down here. Commercial high density, and it's Maxis Pictures. Which, you know, they make all your favorite movies about Captain Hero. Yeah, we definitely need to get a bus stop down here. I would really like to bulldoze this church, but the game does tend to retaliate when you do that. Stupid boat, stop overwriting the tile with the signpost on it. Ah! Looks like Lake Street's gonna need another road, or another bus at some point. Crime Alley is still just utterly untouched. 2 cars a minute. I mean, no surprise there, there's a police station literally next door. Okay, so is our police coverage sufficient? No. We will literally never, ever, ever be able to get that crime problem to go away with the current police station coverage. Oh, there goes the power plant. Well. Oh! Oh no. Oh no, we actually don't have enough power? Well, how can that be? Are the expansions too costly? Huh. Well, it's easy enough to fix. We need water. We need a hydroelectric power plant. 320 megawatts. It's powered, it just hasn't updated the graphics yet. Let's see. Let's get the map open so that we can check that. Okay, so there actually are, there genuinely still are blackouts, so that's a problem. Looks like a little bit of our town is just gonna not be functional for a little while, which is unfortunate. Man, I didn't realize how much power the downtown area was taking up. That comes as quite a surprise. So we'll put down another tile of water there and there. And then we'll put up another power plant. And kick it back into high gear momentarily. Let's see what that affects. It's hard to tell exactly how much power you're using, because the game doesn't really give you any way of seeing that information. It tells you whether things are powered or not, but it doesn't really tell you how much you're using. You can see how much any given power plant is using, but not for hydro, which will just show you the consumption of the entire power plant block, citywide. Which sucks a little bit. That means that we're gonna have a little while where we're not expanding still. I should say another little while. Let's kick up the speed a little. Tax revenue is going up even though things aren't powered. That's actually really good. Almost afford the second one. Okay, so power's coming back to the docks. Slowly. Give commerce a break, man. Alright, fine. We don't need the income right now. It would be nice, but we don't have to have it. It's 2006 and we've got rolling power outages. But we are slowly rebuilding our power infrastructure and it will be fine, I swear. Oof. There's a significant portion of the city that is just kind of not functional right now. Oh boy. Unfortunately, a bunch of it's residential, which means that people are moving out of the workforce is not available currently. So let's get a minute for the. So that's nearly powered. The desal or the water treatment plant is almost powered. Downtown is repowered again. That little uptown area that we have is not. Oh man, yeah, our revenue is going down because of all of the people moving out. Ooh, tough times, tough times. Stupid power plant self-destructing. Ruined my whole city. Boo! Ah! What do you want? Ooh, first arcology exists. That's interesting. Probably not going to be able to get that anytime soon. Brownouts cost business. Officials representing commercial interests met with Mayor Cogbecat today to urge him to build a power plant. Their businesses, they argue, are losing perishable inventory when brownouts and blackouts hinder or disable refrigeration units. As Twitchton continues to grow, it faces an acute power shortage. If a power plant is not built soon, brownouts will become more frequent, and eventually Twitchton will start experiencing long blackouts. Anyone who's experienced a blackout knows it's not a pretty picture. Actually, it's no picture. City energy planners assert the type of plant is immaterial. Anything that turns you on, an engineer commented. Sparking a something. Wow, that's something. Okay, well, have another power plant. Geez, 460 megawatts. How on earth was the old power plant keeping up with this demand? There's just no way. Spend the remainder of the year's budget on more water. Okay, so it looks like we've just about caught up to our demand. Not quite, but just about. And we'll put up another hydro. And that should just about cap out these couple of buildings here. It's going to be a little while before we can expand because we need to fill these in. That's unfortunate. Highly, highly unfortunate. We have misfortunes here in Twitchton. It's 2009. We don't have a city hall. I'm gonna build a city hall. Ugh. Let's put city hall. Where should we put city hall? Put city hall there. We could put city hall here. We could put city hall. That's not a bad spot for it, actually. We need to flatten out some terrain, but it's in such a place that that won't be a problem. I don't think. One and oh man, I'm so nervous about this. Oh no! Oh, crud. Well, there goes the school. Wait, that was a school, right? Well, it was definitely a civic building. I don't remember what. Heck. Well, look, I tried not to, okay? I tried really hard. Well, now we need to figure out what building that was. Ugh, what a mess. Okay, it was not any of those. I don't think it was any of those, was it? We only had the two schools and one college. Those are all still accounted for. It was not a library, it was not a museum. There's nothing that can be built from any of those menus. Oh crap, what was it? I actually have no idea. Uh-oh. It was a yellow building. I thought it was a school, but we only had the two schools that we built are already still there. B- schooling. At least the college is doing well. 40 books, 640 attendance. Oh boy. How has that happened? It's a 3x3 building. Oh, I done goofed. Yay! 13 employees, built in 2009. Yeah, we do not have very much commercial, it looks like. It's actually a useful analytics tool. I didn't realize it was there. It wasn't a zoo, it wasn't a stadium, it wasn't a big park. It's not a fire station. We never built a prison. Is it a school? Well, let's see. Does this guy now complain? Yeah, he does. Oh gosh, it was a school. I bulldozed a school, you guys. Crap. I just wanted to shave one tile off the stupid hill. Oh. Oh no. Yeah, I mean, I don't actually know what I did. I mean, that looks pretty much the same, right? Yeah, so that's exactly a parody. Yeah, it had to have been a school. There's nothing else that could have been. Ooh. Just stumbled onto a new keyboard shortcut that I didn't know about. Also, I love how the graphics only have two positions, so there's left facing and right facing. So when you rotate it around, the road actually faces a different way. So that's cool. Crime rate's actually low down there now. Well, that's a good sign. C- hospitals. About this fire station. 4-minute response time, not bad. Well, that's huge. We don't have a lot of commercial space in this city, but man, they're making good use of it with these skyscrapers. Oh, you know what I just realized is the KSIM building is gone now that after the brownouts started knocking the city down. Well, that's a little bit depressing. I liked those guys. So we were talking about leveling this out, so let's smooth that out while we've got money. So that's a little bit of area we can expand into pretty comfortably. That's not really going to require anything extra of us. Let's power this. And we'll just run a redundant power line there just in case something happens here. You never know. And then we'll zone for... We've already got a bunch of residential over here, so we're going to actually zone this for commercial. It should already be watered because I ran the mains underneath that. So if we check, for example, this tile, it is watered. So yeah, everything in here should get water. got $169. Let's build some non-powered buildings. They're complaining about needing a power plant. Go figure. So we were talking earlier about getting some of these hard-to-fill spots. Put some parks down, just to basically fill up space. So what these will do is actually just ambiently raise the land value in this area. They don't require power in order to function, which is tremendously useful. And then we can zone light residential right along here and here. Because honestly, why not? We'll make sure that these are watered as well. And that does do some weird stuff to the terrain sometimes. So that spot and then those two tiles are just gonna be strange looking. It's giving us a power plant needed warning, no surprise there. So the downside, the only, oops. Can I not, can we, please, game. The only downside, if you can even call it that, to hydroelectric power is that it is kind of piecemeal. So either you build a lot of it all at once, or you just kind of have to, like, oh, we need a power plant, better build one power plant tile. Just these tiny little nickel and diming kind of things. So there's a couple places we can go right now. There's some space over here, and more importantly, all the way up along Lightning Ridge. We can squeeze a little bit of money out of that, I'm sure. As well as finally getting a road connection to a neighbor, which we've put off this entire time. We can also, if we do that, we can run a road along here and get up to this area. It's probably going to pretty much be a long road to nowhere, which sucks a little bit, but I think we can live with it. We may also want to put a tunnel down here. Unstable terrain at exit point, yeah. Fair enough. Let's get the hydropower going again as soon as the year is up. Oh, I need more educational funding. Everything's fine. Okay. Power plant needed. Everything's powered though, so I'm not sure what you want from me, game. This music is so jazzy, I love it. Three more water tiles for a total of 4 vacant. That'll keep us for another 3 years worth of power plant construction, I believe. Which will in turn keep us steady for a little bit more expansion. Not a lot, but some. We also probably want to look at a bus for this area pretty soon. Not necessarily right away, but before too long, I'd say. Thank you, boat. I now know exactly where you are, even though I don't actually. Commerce demands an airport. Oh boy. Well, that is worth looking into. We probably want to put the airport. Pardon me. Why was there an explosion? I didn't see an explosion. Alright, hold on. Wait a minute. So... power plant there. But what the heck was that explosion? Can we... What was it? Where was it? Let's just conceal everything and see if there's any rubble laying around. Nope, nothing actually blew up. Everything's insane. That's fine. Oops. Wow, I am not sure what to feel about the fact that there's random explosions now. So as far as where to put the airport, what I'm thinking we may want to do is flatten this out and build the airport here. It's going to be very costly, and actually it might be worth taking out a bond for it if it pays off well enough and if the bond rate is low, which it is definitely not. So let's go ahead and start flattening it out. We're out of money. Oh boy. Everybody out of the way, we need an airport. Okay, so that was a little more than I intended, but that's fine. And we'll bring that up a little bit to make this a broader plateau. Alright, that's this year's budget blown. Okay, 2015 is done. I like this contour here. It's a shame we have to flatten this out the way that it is. That's okay though. Time for more power. We're gonna need at least another few tens of megawatts before we can put the airport up. Okay, airport. $250 per tile, which is extremely expensive. So what we're going to do is actually run this road out around this side. With some difficulty, apparently. And then we're going to have a big stretch of airport right in the middle. We're going to start it off on this side. It's going to be relatively small, but it does need to be at least 5 tiles in length by 5 tiles in width in order to be functional, because otherwise it's not big enough to have a runway, which you may be aware is kind of important for air travel. So we're gonna make sure that we have that sort of space set aside for it. Road guy says we have too many roads. We should destroy the roads rather than pay him less. He's an odd duck, that road guy. We have the money for 2 tiles of airport. Woo! Make sure that it's watered. Do we have a water shortage too? It's not watered. Of course it's watered. It's connected to the water mains. Don't tell me it's not watered. Of course it's watered. You suck. Alright, I guess we'll see. There's traffic. I don't know why. 27 cars a minute. Hey everybody, it's 2019. Look at that, 2019. 2019 in the beautiful burg of Twitchton. Yeah, it does actually start randomly destroying roads. Any reduction in road funding causes them to randomly be deleted, which is just a literal death sentence for your city. As soon as anything gets cut off, that's it. Your city just stops working. It is actually the worst. It is, with no exaggeration whatsoever, one of the worst things that you can do. Because if you do that, then you don't have roads, and then parts of your city just stop existing. You don't have to have a completely contiguous integrated road network in order for areas to individually function, but every area needs at least residential and industrial or commercial in order to function. It also has to have power, roads, and water is optional, but definitely helps things along. So I actually had a city at one point that I was messing around on where, hey, we got a single runway. Oh gosh, that's ridiculous. I had a city at one point where where I was kind of trying to see what the different city services actually did in practice. And to test it out, I reduced road funding to save money, and the result, as you've probably predicted by now, is that Roadman freaked out, and certain segments of the city just stopped growing all of a sudden, out of nowhere. Like, it doesn't make an explosion sound or anything, it's just the roads turn into rubble on their own. And as soon as that happens, you have to pay to replace it, which is actually a lot less than just paying for the road maintenance. So it's significantly more expensive to go back through and manually build everything up. So unlike the other city services where, like, if the fire department isn't adequately funded, you might have a problem with fire, in the case of Road Guy, your city actually will stop functioning if Road Guy is unhappy. So, watered? No. What do you mean it's not watered? How can it not be watered? I do not understand this. Surely the water tower should be dumping water into the system if there's a shortage. There isn't a shortage, or at least it's not showing me that there is one. I'm terribly confused. Okay, so what we're gonna do is finish up the airport and then start installing more water pumps, just to cover what appears to be a shortfall. So the bare minimum size, we need another $5,000 total on top of what we've already built. But we do have a very nice runway. It's 5 acres, very expensive 5 acres, both to the city and to me. Water pump. Just put that up right there. And power it, and it should already be connected to the main power grid. Hey look, a control tower. Come on, you are absolutely watered. Water supply, it just ends, it just cuts off right there. Why? I'm so confused. Also, this is a little weird. This shows is not watered, but having pipes. Oh, I guess that's because it's not watered and it has pipes. I'm clever. Oh, we have a radar dish. We have a piece of tarmac. And it is watered now. What the heck? But that isn't. What? Oh, I'm so confused. Hey! It's the SimCopter! There he is. No, it doesn't need extra pumps. Yeah, to be honest, I'm not sure. Oh, hey, it looks like we've met the minimum requirements to have an airport. Thank you, SimCopter 1. That's very kind of you. Okay, so we have the technical minimum requirements for an airport now. And along with that, we have our SimCopter flying around and generally telling us when we have too much traffic. It doesn't really do anything else, although you can shoot it down. I won't be doing that because it has the small chance to set a fire, which I'd rather not deal with, quite frankly. Excuse me. So one thing we're gonna make sure to do is keep the zoning light in the area around the airport, because having the zoning be dense produces skyscrapers, which increase the chance of a crash, which itself increases the chance of a horrific fire, and also just broadly some serious property damage, which, as you might guess, I'd rather not do. 2021, Adams Lab produces orbital power. Only in the famed Adams Labs could something like orbital power be created. Adams Labs, located near scenic Leningrad, sure, has been a leader in light cube research for years. Colleagues and other smart guys agree that it was only a matter of time before an invention like orbital power came out of the prestigious labs. When questioned on the matter, Professor Barton, a rival in the field, claimed that Adams Labs was purporting a hoax. We're closer than they are. This is just a publicity gimmick to gain funding. Hoax or not, orbital power makes life simpler and will be installed in cities everywhere within the next. We won gold at something. We've got a decathlon that we won gold in the our Sim National team. Yeah, okay. Someone thinks cows will be fractured. Okay, who am I to argue with fracturing cows? 2 more tiles of airport this year. And hopefully we'll get a little bit more of this light residential going. And just for good measure, a tile of light commercial back there. We'll just pretend. We do want more industrial. Mostly we want a lot of residential, wherever we've got room. Yeah, where are you? Quit complaining. I know we have a traffic problem, shut up. Where even is he? I don't see him. Do, 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 do. We have a 72% approval rating and a pair of door stops and no employees. We changed out. Oh, plane landed somewhere. What do we got here? Runway, no. That tile. Building. Yeah, I can see it's a building. Thank you. That's terribly helpful, you know. What? The number of books went down? Goodness me. Yay! 15 employees. Got some warehouses. We need a spot to put this residential zoning to meet the demand. I'm thinking we finally built this road down here. That should cover most of this area. It'll also give us a place where we can finally connect this up. So that's probably where I'm going to put that. Well, no, actually, let's change that. Let's take a different look. Let's take a different approach. Let's put this here. Where do we want that road to be? Let's put the road on this tile here. then we'll also connect it to this someplace. Not sure exactly where. We'll zone dense industrial all up along this area. All up along this area. Well, no, not quite. Let's make sure that... So that should build on its own, I think. And if we build down along there, that'll be a good connecting point. I could be wrong. So we'll take another look at it momentarily, once we get all this fed and watered, as it were. So those two should be fine. Ooh. Building sprung up. So all this is filled in. That's good. That's how I want it. The airport continues to barely exist. Mostly we just want to increase our tax base, because until we have more people, we're not going to be able to get the money up for a full airport, a full-size airport, and the zoning necessary to support it with commercial. But this is helping, so we're on the right track. We're not there yet, but we're on the right track. I really have made a lot of just random little roads, haven't I? We should probably also invest in another couple power plants pretty soon. So we'll prep that. He's complaining about the traffic in Little Detroit, no surprise. Center Street is just absolutely horrific. Oh, there he goes. I love how the simulation only really updates once a month. And he's gone. But now here's this one, just suspended in the sky. Or this tile, I guess? I wonder if we can query it. No, we cannot query planes in flight. That's a shame. I hoped. How do we want this road to connect? So it's going to be fiddly kind of no matter how I do it, so I guess here maybe? Oh, hello budget. Okay, education and fire are back to being good again, well funded. I mean, this tile sort of speaks to me because it makes a nice grid. And then we'll just residential zone the crap out of this area. And since the dense zoning can't use that tile, we will instead zone it light residential in order to be just slightly more efficient with our money. And then we'll add in a bit more there. Get our water mains back in place. Oh. Why? Oh. Jeez, he's trying to build water pumps. Yikes. to go. One thing that this game never really gave me, which is a terrible shame, is better trains. Because the trains honestly sort of suck in this game. Like, they're okay. You can get by with them, but like they don't really work that well. So there's rarely, if ever, a reason to use them. Which is just sad, because they're super cool. Like, the rail graphics look really nice, the depot buildings are really pretty, and of course subways are excellent if you can afford them, but they're very expensive and they're not really better than roads, so there's active reasons not to use them, which is really unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Every game does need better trains. The possible exception to that is OpenTTD, where the trains are hopelessly overpowered compared to everything else in the game except maybe airplanes. But that's okay, because the trains in OpenTTD are awesome and pretty looking and very effective, and also by far the most interesting part of the gameplay, even though signals make your brain melt. Speaking of which, if Twitchton continues having technical issues that are debilitating, OpenTTD is something that I'm considering as sort of a failback. So if we end up wanting to do something different, or once Twitchton is finished, I will probably go over to OpenTTD. Yeah, OpenTTD doesn't need better trains, just needs better you. Yeah, that's very true. There are a lot of good signaling guides. If you want to take a look at those, I can send them your way. Or we'll probably be going over them if and when we get around to playing OpenTTD on this stream. Signaling isn't actually that complicated. It's just that there's, like, doing the actual signaling gets really complex because you need a lot of them. So you end up with the situation where like the functionality of the signals is really straightforward, but like you build these systems that just get more and more complex the longer that you play, and then you look at them and they're just this spaghettified mess. Yeah, traffic, blah blah blah, traffic. Yeah, the guides are very effective. There's one in particular, I don't remember where I found it, I'm sure I got it through the subreddit. But it's fantastically helpful. It's just this like cartooned, stupid little thing that shows these child's pictures of trains going around in circles. But it actually like really helped the whole thing click for me. It's like, oh, that's what those do. Oh, crud. That's not good. No, my bus station! No, my bus civic buildings! Those are expensive! Oof. The destructive whirlwind whipped through Twitchton about midday yesterday, touching down only momentarily but causing incredible devastation in that area. Mayor Cogbecat exclaimed that deaths have exceeded 23 and that damage so far is in the thousands of dollars. Actually, it's not, thank goodness. Apparently, the tornado put on quite a show before touching down. Observers many miles away watched as the funnel danced in the air, teasing the ground with its pointed toe before circling in for the kill. It reminded me of a girlfriend I used to have, a twisted old kid exclaimed with obvious joy. Kelly Xavier was so impressed he decided to name his dog after one of the officers who was present. Well, cool. So according to this article, we've got good job opportunities, which is excellent. Wow, that was abrupt. Alright, time to clear it up. He needed his dog Judge Dredd. Oh man, you know, I'd buy that. Wait a minute, it deleted my signpost. What the heck? What's that all about, game? And you know what we're gonna do actually is zone that dense. Help the city to recover a little bit by improving on what was already there. Put up some condos or something. And while we're at it, you know what? I think we have the money to finally finish the seaport. Not right now or anything, but we'll have it pretty soon. We only need 6 tiles, I think? Maybe only 3. Ooh, that's a new building type. I haven't seen that before. Well, not here, anyway. This is a cargo yard. There's a little forklift in there too. Dang, that's some detail. Zoned seaport. No crime. No crime. No crime next to the water treatment plant. Did you hear that? No crime. Oh, welcome back from the dead. There is no crime at the seaport. How did I get it? SimCity, you mean? Good question. I tried it again and now it's fine. That's kind of been the way of it so far. It completely refuses to work for a while, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, we're good. So yeah, I don't know how I made it work. I didn't really make it work. It just decided it was gonna work. So we can either put seaport into these spaces, or or we can leave them empty for a road to come through here later. But I'm thinking right now, so the road would have to come up this way and then probably take a turn. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. You know what we're probably going to want to do is actually leave this entire area for a while. When we have enough money, we'll flatten this out so we have a steeper slope to go up, and then run the road. But for now, that means that we can put these in. And next year we'll put the last tile down, and this will officially be finished. We do want to demolish that warehouse, clear the space, and de-zone it as well. Oh, is it? Where? Where are you watching? You're watching on Twitch. Let's see. My dashboard thinks that my stream is named what? Da 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 da. Oh crap, it does. Thought I fixed that earlier. I've just discovered that I have an anonymous suggestion to cut funding to the roads. All caps. Which, you know what? I'll be honest, that's very tempting. You know what we'll do, actually, is at the end of the stream tonight, so in probably about 45 minutes, we will take about 10 minutes at the end, cut funding to the roads, watch it go completely to crap, and then we'll reload our save. And on that note, Every time I think of it, I need to save because this game just does not want to live anymore. Yes, I would love to build that road, please. If there are any more disaster requests, we can do that. We can do that at that time as well.
Citycopter 1 reporting heavy traffic.
Thank you, Citycopter 1, for reporting heavy traffic. We know. Alright, alright. Adequate. Adequate. Who aspires to be adequate? I want excellence from my city. Actually, you know what? I suppose that might be why this police station doesn't have very much influence surrounding itself. Hopefully that'll help that a little. We needed seaport. One more tile. Alright, so that's done. We've got the road in place, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's see, the next thing is we need more power, which is going to take up most of the remaining money for this year. We've got a little bit of extra cash. They want commercial. Where shall we put some commercial? We need some commerce happening. Let's put down some light commercial right there. And we'll power it. And we will water it. We may not need to water it. We shouldn't need to water it. We don't need to water it. Everything's fine. We don't have to water it. Excuse me. There's no obvious problems with the water supply. No obvious problems with the power supply. Most of the city is covered for the fire department. Land values are mostly up, except in Little Detroit, which, no surprise, it's Little Detroit after all. Pollution is reasonable. This isn't fantastic, but it's a lot better than it could be. Crime rate, no one's surprised. Police power, that's alright. It's alright. It's not great, but it's alright. Population density is pretty low, actually, which is alright. We don't need that to increase for a while. Everything's watered, everything's powered. Traffic is severe, but again, no shock. 16 killed in quake. It was on the ocean. Today, innumerable Twitchton inhabitants are mourning the loss of loved ones following last night's violent earthquake that claimed the lives of many, 16, Twitchton residents. The fatalities occurred mostly around the factory? What factory? Yes, the ocean did quake. Lightning Ridge had a sad day, I guess, but there was nothing there. An emergency relief station is set up at Piranha Lane. The station wants volunteers badly and is also in request of donations including food, blankets, soap, towels, and clothes. If you can donate your time or anything else, please call Mao Yojimbo at City Hall or look for Alan Richards at Shark Lane. Yes, the factory at the bottom of the ocean. That's correct. You're right. Pollution 9%, crime 9%, taxes 7%, education 2%. Yeah, that's not bad. I'll take it. Yeah, it's not bad at all. The Tsar is trapped and surrounded. I don't feel like the authors of these two articles talk to each other. Riot in Chile, and Libyan fascists have shelled the capital. You can fry eggs on the sidewalk, wear a hat, dress in layers, and it's cold as an Eskimo skull 1 minute and hot as a sunbasking dog's fur the next minute. which, we have a dog, can verify. Her fur is toasty. Also, how does this work? How does this pier work? I don't... Oh, wow, actually something did get destroyed. Wow. There actually were destroyed buildings. Dang. There's 85 boats, and I've only ever seen the one. Oh, we lost a road. That's actually my responsibility. Oh no. And everything's fine. The factory must have been right here. That factory that definitely existed. Sure, we'll go with that. That's fine. So this is something clever that is non-obvious, but that, like, completely works in this game. The foundations of buildings that are zoned are the colors of those zones. So, for example, like you'll have a little edge of green around like these big skyscrapers, but the residential zoning is all green, so you get lawns on all of those buildings. The commercial buildings have just a little, like a tiny bit of blue around the bottom. Usually it's in the foundation. So you'll often see, like, where's a good example of this? So, like, these buildings are themselves blue, and then you've got a little bit of blued concrete around the bottom of this guy. And then with industrial buildings, there's just, like, typically just a little bit of yellow grime around the bottom, and it completely works. Like, you just look at it and you know what zone it is without having to be told, which is just fantastic. It's an absolute delight of subtle, implicit design. One of many good things about this game. Okay, let's see. What are we working on right now? People are actually moving out at the moment, although that might be related to the horrific little... Whoa! Hey! Spontaneous parade. I skipped the dialogue by accident, but that's what that was. It was a parade. Got $1,000, which is good for almost another row of the airport. Or we could invest it elsewhere. Since I've got some active viewers at the moment, where do you guys think we should build? What's our next goal? Should we start putting in commercial and industrial in some of these expansion zones that we've marked out, like over here? Should we try and breach this area a little bit more? We've got a road coming down here, but we don't really have any development. Or should we continue on with the airport? Or, I guess there is another option, and that's start building up to Lightning Ridge. So, like, first we'd fill this in, and then we'd start running roads up to the top here and start developing this area up top. So we've basically got those four options right off the bat. So, any thoughts? Nothing? The alternative, I suppose, is just to run the city for a little while on its own and build up some cash so that we can make a bigger decision later. More off to the east. Okay, so do we want to go up on this plateau here? Or do we want to come down into the valley?
Helicopter 1 reporting heavy traffic.
Have you heard? There's heavy traffic. I assume you already know that we can't. The valley. Alright. Alright, well, let's start in on the valley then. First things first. We need a name for the valley. It's going to be probably mostly industry, with some commercial and residential scattered through wherever it makes sense, but we're going to go with industry for now. So we'll run a road up to there. We'll run another road. Valley Girl. Run that right up to there. There you go. We'll compromise between dignified and actually naming it Valley Girl. Is that fair? Yeah, again with the water pump. It's very helpful that it remembers those selections, but it's also very easy to find yourself forgetting them. That's for later. No, it's not. Certainly not the last time I checked. Oh yeah, it probably is, isn't it? Beg your pardon, I'm just gonna change a little bit of stuff here. This might look absolutely like crap, but let's give it a shot.
Helicopter 1 reporting heavy traffic.
All right. So we're going to be meeting some of that commercial demand. Let's also tack on some industry. Let's see where that gets us as far as the RCIs. So while we have the money and are waiting for this to build, let's go ahead and put another row of airport in. It's going to be pretty costly, but it should pay off eventually. So we're going to look to pay another $2,500 there, and then we're going to fill this side in for another $1,250, and then we'll call the airport finished, at least for the time being. And probably zone something out here, or maybe put in some civic buildings. On that note, how much are $3,000 for a zoo, $5,000 for a stadium, $150 for a big park, which isn't so bad. I never did get around to building a prison, although I'm not sure I dislike that state of affairs. $1,000 for a museum. So those buildings are relatively costly individually. At the moment, I don't think we're probably going to worry too much about them. What we're going to do instead, let's block out some more dense commercial. Which is the exact amount of money we had left. Yikes. Can make it a whole 2 tiles. And I'm again growing concerned about our water supply because there's some spots that just randomly aren't receiving any. Maybe the sim isn't updating. Oh hey, look, KSIM headquarters is back. Corporate headquarters for the KSIM broadcasting station. Coincidentally, that is actually intended to cross over, and this is the reason that there's a helicopter, with SimCopter, which was a separate game that apparently had like mission mode, but mostly it was just a simulator where you fly around in a helicopter, and it was super cool. But what you can do is import your SimCity 2000 saves and actually fly through your city. You can do the same thing with Streets of SimCity, although that game was absolutely bat-crap crazy. Which is a whole different kind of fun. Streets is a weird game. In Streets of SimCity, you drive around in a car that has weaponry on it. And by weaponry, I mean actually like missile launchers. And what the crap? Okay, those tiles are not adjacent like I initially thought they were. Oh gosh. Alright, well that'll work. Get that all lined up. We'll probably run a road up here at some point so that we can fill these in and get some development going on the sides of this hill finally. We've let that go quite long enough, I think. Now, what do we want to zone? We want some more dense commercial. Why was there an explosion? That makes me nervous. What blew up? Nothing blew up. Why did you play an explode sound? Game, why are you making me so nervous? Now, in SimCopter, you do more than just report heavy traffic. Or so I'm led to believe. I haven't actually played it myself. You know, we need to have railway tracks so that... What is with this explosion noise? What is happening? Is that like an aircraft crashing or something? I said, yeah, it's trying really hard. Why does Twitchton want to be a dystopia so bad? No, you cannot import your SimTower save. I mean, I can see why it wouldn't really do anything, but it is a terrible, terrible shame. I wish there was some kind of integration between those two. They're both such lovely games. Wait. It really would, honestly. I would just love to be able to integrate SimTower and SimCity somehow.
Helicopter 1 reporting heavy traffic.
I mean, there is Project High Rise out these days, which I've played a little bit of, and honestly, it looks amazing. It looks absolutely superb. It's significantly more complicated than SimTower. Like, there's just more systems happening in it at all times. But other than that, it's a very faithful follow-up, which is fantastic, because SimTower is one of my favorites from this era. It's quite a bit shallower than SimCity, honestly. Why is the ground still like this? Oh boy. Yeah, High Rise is just solid. Let's see, we want a road coming up along here. And we want well, that's not gonna work. That will cover these 3 tiles. We also want it to come up here. That should cover all of that. And then we'll put parks along here, because I don't think it's probably worth building all the way up there. Those as well. That one should build, that one should build. Now they all need power, which will run from there and there as well. That should be enough to get power to these homes. And I mean, you know what they say. Zzz, zzz, zzz. While that runs for a minute, I'm actually changing a couple of settings on my end to make the chat overlay look a little bit prettier. that sort of out for the time being. Now let's do the budget. Ooh, healthcare needs more money. Adequate fire response. Excellent fire coverage. Police still useless. I'm honestly befuddled by the way that the police work in this game. At least based on what we're seeing here, how they seem to act. I don't really understand why they are the way they are. I've never quite had these problems before. Let's see. What else needs to happen at the moment? We need a large glut of residents. So we're going to put some dents down over there. And then we're going to actually do the same thing up here. So that's where the roads are going to reach. We'll probably want to run a road along here, and then once we develop that, we'll bring another road down and fill this out on the other side. Which I imagine would be inconvenient for the Sims living there, but screw them. Okay, that'll cover that. Need more dense residential here. For people who want to live where they work, I suppose. And then let's get the piping. Keep all of these back in here. Jeez, we never finished that. And where's the road? There we go. And we will, of course, need a lot of these weird little sort of patches to the water system to make sure that everything fits right. There we go. Alright. So that should just about cover it. That'll get everything over here bootstrapped properly. And we can continue building out this industrial park. We're actually, now that I think of it, relatively protected against hurricanes. Like, they're obviously going to still be damaged, but I think really all that's going to get hit is Old Town and the docks, maybe. Ooh, another beautiful little piece of graphics work, an office park with the terraced gardens on the roof. I always admired that one. I thought that one looked really pretty when I was growing up.
Helicopter 1 reporting heavy traffic.
Ooh, a resort hotel. Oh, we're getting fancy here. I'm gonna pretend that we're up class. Upscale, that's the word. Ah! In case it wasn't profoundly obvious, I'm building up a block structure here. So I prefer actually to build like this generally when it's possible. But obviously that doesn't play nice with the contours, and I actually don't like fixing it because playing around within the constraints of the contours is quite fun. That's one of the best parts of this game. So we'll have a nice little grid layout down here, and nowhere else probably. So this area along here is probably going to be laid out pretty sensibly, and everywhere else is just going to be, I mean, basically what we already have, just a colossal mess. You know what? Let's take a little bit of the money that we've got and drop a bus station down, because it's high time for a depot. Toot toot! We do need power. Oh, we need power in a different way as well. Looks like we've hit our limit. So, in the coming year, we need to prioritize building another couple of power plants. $2034. Need more money to grade schools, and otherwise we're good. What are we doing on this? Commercial tax is way up, which we don't want. We can tax both of those more substantially, more heavily, and probably not really lose much of our growth, which is good to see. And let's actually lower that one further. Give them a nice tax break this year. And then we need 2 tiles of water. I was going to have those be adjacent, but oh well, we'll do that later. And we also now have access to microwave power, which is space lasers, but it also costs almost $30,000 for 1,600 megawatts, which is, I mean, that's quite useful. Now the space laser bit, it's kind of trying to warn us here. The effects of a mistargeted beam are as yet unknown. Now, what can happen is that a beam can come down out of the sky and just sweep across your city, destroying everything in its path. Which, if I do say so myself, is actually pretty cool as disasters go in this game. Oh crap, we have a serious water shortage too. Oh dear. We have power, but not water. Oof. Wow, that's really bad, actually. Alright, well. Let's bring it up to llama speed to round out the year. About 10 more minutes and we'll start messing around with disasters and cutting funding to roads. Fire response is adequate. Yeah, we're gonna need another fire department real quick. Probably another hospital pretty soon as well. Not immediately, but soon. Let's raise taxes. Raising taxes is what I do best. I am the tax person. I do tax. Take a thumbtack, hold it over your head. You have raised taxes. Congratulations. Alright, water pumps.
Helicopter 1 reporting heavy traffic.
And do we have enough power to power the water pumps? Probably not. Well, that sucks. Alright, pipes. Lay the new mains. We got the weirdly somber music again. That's cool. And we never watered that house either. Oops. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, our water supply is back up. These two are not powered yet because we need another power plant. So we'll put down another power plant. Zzz. And that should power those. Okay, so the next couple years we're going to need to put down some more power. For sure. We'll have to do that before we can even really look seriously at expanding again. Because this is taxing the system just about to its limit, what we have now. Alright, so next year we need a new fire department in order to keep up with that demand. So let's put that down here in our new little area. Fire station. We want that just a little ways off of the main area because we're going to put a road through there as well. We will probably also need more police, more hospital, and another school soon. So let's get ahead of that need as well while we're at it. And astonishingly, there was actually enough money for all that this year. Oh, no, not a bus depot. Roadway, please. And then we'll check the budget to make sure that I'm not horrifically overpaying for this. And we'll just tweak it up and down until it gets back to where we want it. Oh, come on, man. Come on, man! Jeez. Only cut it by 30% funding. Oof. Alright, there we go. So that's, yeah, those have both saved us a little bit of money, which should hopefully continue indefinitely. Oh, I've got 4 more minutes, come on now. He has no advice at this time. Boo! So we'll probably do until the end of this decade. And then in 2041, it's Detroit time, baby. And the reason that I'm so confident we can make it all the way there in the next 3 minutes is that there's very little to do except build power plants right now. Maybe also water pumps, because... yeah. Cut back on services, because I don't like services. Tiles of that. So I'm actually going to overbuild this a little bit. Just because I don't want to have to constantly be mucking around with power plants. I want to actually be able to play the game. Alright. We are scaring industry off a little bit, so we'll lower that back down. Let's call that 8, 7, and 10. That should be okay. We're still making a pretty good bunch of money. Alright, so that's the power block finished for the time being. 880 megawatts. Is there anything else that we need to do down here straight away? I feel like yes. The answer was yes. They forgot the water mains. So that's where the roads exist right now. I don't think it's going to happen, but I would like one-to-one parity between roads and water mains. Great use of $6. Well, what belongs here? Is that road? No. Yeah, I decided to be funny over there, I guess. It's a good looking city. It's a good looking city we got here. Alright, so let's skip to the end of the year. We will save the game. And day 3 disasters. Here we go. The Transit Authority has had all of his funding cut. We always suspected he was a little bit of a crazy person. Now let's see just how crazy. And just for fun, we're gonna turn off buildings and zones so that you guys can see exactly how insane this gets. So we've got our whole road network here, just like it was before. Now let's give it a little bit of juice here. We've already got dozens of tiles of road just gone. And there go a few more. It literally just transmutes to rubble. And so what we can do at this point, just to... I mean, there's not a ton that we can really do to show off how bad this is. The road to ruin. Yeah, I mean, it sure did. We have no traffic left to speak of. You can actually, I have no advice at this time. But even 5% and he flips out. So do we wanna just watch the roads dissolve for a minute here? Let's set auto budget and maximum game speed. There it goes. See how long the remaining road segments last. Oh! Wow. It actually destroyed not just the city, not just the program, but the entire simulated operating system. Hot dang. And there goes the emulator. Woo! Yeah, it's true. I did. He told me, and I ignored his advice. He said I would regret this, and I regretted this. So here we are back in December 2040. And you know what we're going to do while we've got this in the condition that it is currently in, is we're going to change some of these objects. We are going to... It's nearly the 2050s. So we're going to load the 2050s objects. Because this game is a little bit freaking weird sometimes. So, I mean, if this doesn't make you want to play Omicron the Nomad Soul, I don't know what will. This is the police station. I wasn't sure if doing this would crash the game, and that's just why I didn't do it before. I was considering the prospect of, yeah, I mean, these are weird looking, these luxury homes. There's some weird stuff. That's a factory, which I swear they ripped straight out of this game for Omicron. That's an abandoned building. That's a factory. Condo, middle-class homes, which, you know, I mean, they look exactly as you would expect for the 2050s. That's a small office building. It looks like possibly it might be a mouth eating the building. That's the hospital. That is the police station, which is honestly pretty cool looking. Some buildings just randomly don't change. That's a gas station. That's a condo. You know, it's a giant stack of donuts. Different kind of luxury homes. Oh, what's this? That's also a condo. That's an abandoned building, which looks cooler than most occupied buildings in the real world. Down here we got some of the dense zoning stuff. So that's an office park. Which, like, I don't even. These get a little bit of an upgrade as well, some of them. That's the radar, that weird little spindly bit. That's a factory, and not, as one might assume, a sequential magnification device. Industrial substation. Warehouse. Chemical processing plant. See, I'd call that an office building, if it was me. Corporate headquarters, which I think might be looking at us. It's got a face. That's an office building, that's an office building. I mean, that's straight out of the Jetsons, is what that is. That's a warehouse. That's an apartment complex, which... Man, what even? The planes look exactly the same for some reason. That's a nice apartment building, as opposed to the not nice one down there. And then you got just the usual. Usually smaller structures, gas stations, warehouses, and the like. What let's do from here is look at what this would have looked like had I realized that we were going to need to. Oh, wait. Oh no! They had pineapple stacks in the 1900s. Oh no! Oh no, that's all wrong. That's completely wrong. Wait a minute. Original objects. Let's reset all that. Let's try that again. 1900s objects. Yeah, so we got like this cool old school like granite construction kind of building. We get a lot of these brownstone condos. These are nice little buildings, little novelties. That's the school graphic, which I think is super pretty. And this is a neat guy. The corporate headquarters is a giant wedge of, I don't know, gray cheese. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's supposed to be an open-topped vat. Oh, that's interesting. The civic buildings get a replacement in this pack. So we got the fire station, we got the hospital, we've got the police headquarters, RoboCop. These get a slight update as well. These are just a little bit wider. Oh, the churches get a change as well. I don't know, I just think these are really classy, these alternate graphics packs. They just look really nice. Oh, that's the water tower. Nice. It's very quaint. So yeah, nothing too astonishing here, but it still looks nice.
Helicopter 1 reporting heavy traffic.
Shut up, I know. Let's load in. So some of these will modify the existing like civic buildings, the free buildings. So that has changed. The mayor's house is still the same. Wait, that's a bed and breakfast? Let's see. There it is. City Hall. That lovely little BC. Weird looking fellow. What other good ones? A Thingig. What is Thingig? I don't think we have Thingig in our city, whatever that does. Future objects. Oh yes, there's a second future theme, and it's a little bit more thorough. Yeah, Thingig. I don't know what a Thingig is. It's a mystery to me. But yeah, future objects is a little bit more thorough than the mere 2050s objects. So that's where you can go to college, which I swear came straight out of Cubics or something. It's a bit silly. They're very, very bright colors. Actually, come to think of it, these are additive loads, so let's find out what this looks like. Yeah, that's not half bad, actually. Because this replaces all of the remaining objects, but it still gives us the future object stuff for, like, houses and things. It does. It absolutely does. Maybe that's the Thingig. Do any of us know what a Thingig is? I certainly don't. What is Portree? What even changed? I didn't... Something changed, but I didn't see what. Electline. Oh! The water pumps are trees. That seems to be the only change. flag chop. Yeah, it looks like it, but it looks like it was well, it replaced buildings with trees mostly. Flag chop, what is this? Factory, oh. Just gives you, oh, I see, so certain areas get, like, a chopper and a flag, I guess. What are these? These are chemical storage. Yeah, so it just turns random stuff into trees, it looks like. That other one, elect chop. Or no, elect line. Well, no, the power lines are the same. They haven't changed at all.
Helicopter 1 reporting heavy traffic.
So, depending on... So I think the one that I just loaded only modifies arcologies, which is a shame because it's going to be like weeks of playing this before we can get an arcology. London objects. Something changed, I'm not sure what. There's the small buildings, I think, somewhere. Unfortunately, it's kind of hard to find them. I made all of this crap. Venice. No. How about Toronto? Something changed. I don't... Is it this? No. Did any of you guys see what changed when I loaded Venice and Toronto? Oh, wow. That's blinding. Let's see what Police 2 is. That's Police 2. It turns the police station into a Cubert level. I feel like I'm done playing with this Kirk stuff. So that leaves us with one more thing to do before we end for the night. Any disaster picks? Anything specific you guys want to do? Unfortunately, the most interesting disasters you can't summon at will. So, as it is, yeah. Do you want me to reset it before we destroy the town? Okay. Alright, so let's switch back to original objects and summon the monster. Suffer, Twitchton! Suffer beneath my great claws! He's just gonna wander around for a bit and laser buildings as he sees fit. Nice. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Laser beaming individual tiles of stuff. Why is there water there? Where did that water come from? Fresh water. What the crap? What? Where is this water coming from? I don't think I've ever seen it do that before. I can only assume that's normal, but what? I didn't know he could laser water into existence. Hey, he just replaces a tile with water. What the heck? What is going on? I've never seen that. The tears of the innocent. Yes. Oh no, he's going for the power plant. Yeah, traffic. You're worried about traffic right now. Really? traffic is your biggest concern with that thing rampaging around? I mean, you can see where it went, I guess. Sort of left a line. Just kind of wandered around, dripping, I guess. And there he is, just casually wandering off out to sea. Let's speed him up a little. Oh, bye-bye. Mega Monster stomps Twitchton. A flavored monster thrashed through Twitchton yesterday, leaving only debris and wreckage in its path. Despite massive efforts by the local authorities to kiss the sulky beast, damage was estimated in the thousands. Only minor injuries were reported, and the monster avoided smashing the new chair factory commissioned last week by Mayor Cog the Cat. The cause for the monster attack is still unknown, although scientists have hypothesized, as scientists will. Dr. Manning of Twitchton University believes that the pollution created by the Twitchton factories is responsible. I mean, that's as Godzilla as it gets, isn't it? Only minor injuries, yeah. So, okay, with that horrific destruction done, shall we do some more? We can start a fire or a flood, crash a plane. Actually, you know what? Let's, oh, that's gonna be real annoying. Let's get him as close to the middle of the screen as I can before I do that. I'm hit! Mayday! And then it starts a fire and destroys some buildings. You can literally just knock the SimCopter out of the sky. Alright, let's pretend to try and do something about this. Dispatch firefighters. So you do actually have to fight the fire properly. Fortunately, it's not terribly hard. Twitchton chopper was thrashed. Mysterious circumstances and gapers? I can only assume that's a typo for capers. Surrounded a helicopter crash in Twitchton late yesterday afternoon. Mobile Air 1, Twitchton's prime source of breaking traffic news, fell out of the sky for no apparent reason, killing pilot Walter Oscar and reporter Terrell Hoffenmeyer upon impact. A negotiator also on board had won the ride as part of a KSIM promotion. She's in critical condition at the Twitchton General Hospital. KSIM disc jockey Sam Bryant grunted, "Hey, the helicopter ride wasn't my idea. I just say what I'm told." Seems legit. Okay, so that's destroyed this entire commercial block here. Oh, yeah, maybe. Well, now that that's done, what's next? What do we break next? Should we... Let's try a hurricane out. Oh wow. Okay, so that just went right over the mountains. I'm not even gonna ask how the water got clear over here. Wow, that is devastating. I can't even imagine trying to actually clean up after this in a real live environment, like a live game environment. I mean, that's at least $2,000 or $3,000 worth of damage right there. Ooh, come back. Come back. The horrendous Hurricane Jennifer stomped the coast of Twitchton, leaving a path of broken debris and broken dreams. 42 are reported dead or missing after Hurricane Jennifer swept through, destroying, among other items, a warehouse. Our house was totaled, lamented Cletus Oscar, suppressing tears. Relief efforts have formed to assist hurricane victims gathering themselves and their belongings. We haven't seen this in Twitchton in quite some time, imparted Federal Bank analyst Vanessa Maynard, but if this keeps up, it may happen more often. When questioned on this issue, Mayor Cog the Cat answered, "I have no comment at this time." Typical. So yeah, I mean, we haven't seen this in Twitchton in quite some time. The last time that it happened was in our alternate timeline, which has since been rolled back because it crashed the game instantaneously as soon as it happened. So, I mean, that's not great for the city. This entire corner of town is just gone. The power infrastructure is pretty thoroughly destroyed. Roads are dead. A surprising amount of the city survived it. It's still up and running, and what the heck? That's a pretty building. Historic office building. Huh. Haven't seen that. Yes, go away, budget, thank you. Right, well, with that, I think it is time for the stream to end. Let's just load up the real Twitchton. And take a look at what we've accomplished today. So, Twitchton, as of yesterday, ended just about here. Something like that. And we've built all of this today, including this spectacularly expensive little bit over here. We've also finished up the Crime Alley docks, named a bunch of stuff. That was fun. And then we destroyed the town. So, yeah. So that was a good day of SimCity. I think it is unlikely that I'll be streaming over the weekend, although it is possible. I'm not sure exactly how things are going to look. For now, I guess don't plan on it, but do subscribe to see if I come online. And either way, have a great evening, and if nothing else, we'll come back to this on Monday and do some more SimCity. Visit Twitchton again. Thank you for coming to my stream. Thank you for attending my TED Talk. Hopefully you had a good cup of tea to go along with this and a nice chill time. Just to complete the recap, I suppose, we also played a little bit of Spectre Challenger. Couldn't quite beat level 3, but that's okay because it literally does not matter at all. Level 3, level 7, that's the one. Well, either way, we do have some other Mac games to poke at if we get bored of SimCity or if we complete this. Then we've got some other stuff we can look at later. We've got some newer creative management type games as well, and just an absolutely insane number of games on Steam that may or may not stream well, depending on how nice my computer decides to play with them. So there are things to look forward to. Meanwhile, have a great evening. Excuse my belch. And I will see you next time.